2, 1, and we're live.
Good morning and welcome to Breakfast on Edge with Adam and Rachel. Now this is a show that uncovers the best of the North West, whether it be inspiring individuals or upcoming events. We aim to focus on everything good that's in the region.
But we can't do it without you. We need you to share your stories with us. We want to hear all you know about the best of the North West so that we can share your stories with others.
So, has somebody inspired you recently? Do you know any unsung heroes? Have you been on a great trip? Or maybe you've just eaten a fantastic meal? We want to know.
So yeah, you can tweet us on @BreakfastOnEdge or leave us a message on our Facebook page and we could be sharing your stories on Breakfast on Edge very soon.
Coming up on today's show, Red Cross Week is fastly approaching and we'll be joined by senior community fundraiser Kerry Threadgill, who will be talking to us about how people from the North West can get stuck into the fundraising.
The Great Manchester Run is set to hit the city again later this month. We visit Manchester Harriers and Athletics Club to see how they're preparing and to get their thoughts on running being a beneficial activity for the whole family and the region.
Inspirational teenager Leah Dean, who is planning to cycle from Birmingham to Salford in a bid to raise money for Cancer Research UK in memory of her granddad, will also join us in the studio later on for a chat about her incredible journey.
And can't afford a big fancy trip abroad this summer? Well, don't worry, because our reporter Cameron has been off on his first of many adventures in the search for the perfect location in the North West for a short break.
But first, do you remember, Rach, what Manchester Piccadilly Gardens used to look like back in the day?
Well, from pictures I've seen that it looked absolutely beautiful.
Now though, we just know it as a concrete jungle, don't we, which is quite a shame.
I know. Well, you'll be glad to hear that big developments are actually on the horizon. I travelled to Piccadilly Gardens earlier this week to find out what's in store for the area.
Piccadilly Gardens, an unloved space in the heart of Manchester. It's been forgotten about in recent years. It's now a place where people only pass through to go to work or to go shopping. No wonder in 2013 it was voted the 5th worst crime spot in the country, according to the MEN. With huge concrete walls, grey pavements and sparse grass, Piccadilly Gardens is a far cry from what it used to be. Believe it or not, only a few decades ago, the gardens were the hub of the city, with an array of colourful flower beds and a beautiful fountain. The gardens were a place for families to spend time together, a place for couples to romance, and even the pigeons could find relaxation.
And if you miss the old Piccadilly Gardens, well, don't worry, because you could be in luck, as the council has passed a petition by the Manchester Evening News to restore the park back to its former glory. And I'm here in a slightly wet Piccadilly Gardens to see what the public think about the renovation.
I was actually here volunteering the other day, and a lot of people are here. And someone asked me where is a good space outside. I was like, well, you are in Piccadilly Gardens, but he was like, no, this place is rubbish. So I do think if we did improve this area, more people would happily come here and possibly spend money in the local shops here. I think that would be great.
You walk into the city centre and the first thing you see is the gardens, and it's kind of a centre for people who arrive here, and it's a focus for attention, and it really does need to be beautiful and attractive to people. It's got to actually sort of say something about Manchester as well, and announce how proud we are of the city instead of being a bit of a kind of letdown.
Frankly, I think it's a bit of a disgrace really that they're going to spend such a hefty sum on making this nice for businessmen and London people when there's so many people sleeping rough around Piccadilly Gardens and the rest of Manchester.
So, despite the mixed opinions here today in Piccadilly Gardens, the MEN's petition has proved popular, seeing that the park needs improvements to attract friends, families and tourists, to bring them together to make a staple of our city. Rachel Williams, Edge TV, Piccadilly.
Yeah, well, it looks like big plans are on the cards for Manchester, which is great to see. And did you know, Rach, that in 10 years' time, Manchester is going to be an amazing place, especially with all the renovation that is going on at the moment?
Yeah, it's really exciting, isn't it? And if you at home have any thoughts on the proposed renovations or what you think the garden should look like, then don't forget to let us know by keeping in touch on our Facebook page or tweeting your thoughts on @BreakfastOnEdge.
Now, looking a bit closer in time, Red Cross Week commences this Sunday, and the British Red Cross is a charity that does a huge amount for not only the North West, but also the whole of Britain and overseas.
And Red Cross Week is a time with various fundraising events, are held, and people from all around the world are encouraged to raise money for the charity. And if you're unsure exactly what they do or who they help, then this video will give you an idea.
How can you compare a crisis in Nairobi to a crisis in Newcastle? A crisis in the community to a crisis in a conflict? An earthquake to a flood? A tear to blood? We don't. At the Red Cross, all we see is someone who needs our help, and we give it, providing support in emergencies, first aid, and support at home. Because whoever you are and wherever you are, every crisis is personal, and we refuse to ignore it.
Yeah, the Red Cross is made up of volunteers who selflessly help others when they are in crisis. Now, here to chat to us about the charity and how people in the region can get involved this week is senior community fundraiser for the North West, Kerry Threadgill. Good morning to you, Kerry. Thanks for joining us on the Breakfast on Edge sofa this morning. So we talk about Red Cross Week. Can you describe exactly what that week involves for you?
Red Cross Week is a really exciting time for us and a week of celebration to sort of really amp up our fundraising. So lots of events happening, lots of collections, and really just trying to encourage people to get involved and raise vital funds to support our work.
And if people want to get involved with fundraising, how can they do that, and especially in the North West as well?
If they just go on our website, so redcross.org.uk, they'll find a Red Cross Week page and lots of information of how to get involved, how to run their own event, and hints and tips as well to make sure that their event goes without a hitch.
Now, in that video there, you talked about crisis and how the Red Cross has helped people in crisis. And when I think about the North West and the recent crisis that we have, I always think about the floods that happened just before Christmas. And I know you guys had a lot to do with helping people and victims of that floods and all of that terrible weather that we had. So can you describe your involvement in that and how you managed to help people through that tragedy?
Absolutely. So as an emergency response charity, our staff and volunteers are highly trained to deal with just these types of situations. So the response to the flooding, we had volunteers helping to assist people to rest centres. So some people might have had to leave their homes at really short notice. So making sure they've got somewhere safe to stay is a really big, important thing. And at the rest centres, providing blankets, hot drinks, clean clothes, and also emotional support. So making sure someone is reassured and is calm and has someone to talk to in that difficult situation is really, really important.
Absolutely. I think we've actually got some footage of those floods that happened at Christmas. So, really hard time for everyone there.
I mean, I was actually working up in Lancaster when all of this was going on, and I just remember everybody fleeing the whole of the city. It was really quite moving actually to see that happen. But no, it really brought the community together, didn't it?
Definitely. So we had people who were knocking door to door to make sure that elderly people and those with chronic illnesses were okay, and everyone just pitching in to help each other and make sure that everyone was safe. What
was a standout moment for you during that time that you saw?
Our volunteers' dedication and commitment. So we had people who were there 24 hours a day. We had people who had cancelled their Christmas parties and their family gatherings to be there and to deliver vehicles. So the commitment of our volunteers definitely was a really, really big highlight.
How many volunteers do you have for Red Cross as opposed to staff?
So we have about 3,000 staff in the UK and hundreds and thousands of volunteers, and we just literally wouldn't be able to do it without them. So they are definitely the key to our organisation and really do help us to deliver those key services.
And we talk about volunteering, but also it's a lot of fun as well, isn't
Absolutely.
it? You can have a blast raising money for this. So for you as a senior fundraiser, what's been like the standout event for you? Is there any? Can you pick any even?
Lots of different things happen. So we have people shaving off their beards and they might have had them for about 40 years.
Might give that a go.
Leg waxes, skydives, people doing the Yorkshire Three Peaks, and especially if someone's not a big walker or hasn't done anything like that before, that's a really, really big achievement. But it's the little things as well, so bake sales, family gatherings, barbecues in the garden with their family and friends, and all those little sort of events really do make a difference and raise those vital funds to support us.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, well, thank you very much for speaking to us on the show, Kerry.
Yeah, we've actually got some pictures coming up now of the events that you've just been talking about. So what's happening here?
So this is from Red Cross Week 2015, so last year. And we've got staff and volunteers here with a bucket, so collecting in their local supermarket. And this is a massive part of Red Cross Week, so bucket collections raise quite a lot of money for us, so it's really vital that we get volunteers to help us support those collections.
Yeah.
What about this one? That's in the capital.
That is. It's in London, and that's our Red Shoe Walk. Really big sponsored walk, but we're actually encouraging people to put on their own walks in Manchester and across the northwest. So if someone's looking to sort of get involved, they're not sure how, they can put on an event with their family and friends, their neighbours, their work colleagues, and raise a bit of sponsorship to support us. And again, bucket collection, and we really encourage people to have fun with it.
Yeah.
So getting dressed up, wearing fancy dress, onesies, things like that, and even just 2 hours of bucket collecting can really make a difference.
What's this one as well? I think we've got one more. Oh yes, everyone together.
Everyone together, yeah, celebrating. So much hard work goes into Red Cross Week. People put in so much time and really commit to what's going on. So just everyone celebrating together of what everyone's achieved.
I think I'm now going to participate in one of those activities just so I could wear that wig.
We'll get you signed up.
Brilliant. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for speaking to us this morning, Kerry. And the best of luck as well with all the fundraising.
Thank you.
Now, if you are at home and are planning to get stuck into the fundraising, or you have done something recently, then why not let us know by tweeting us or by visiting our Facebook page. Now, May is sure going to be a busy month for the region. It's not only Red Cross Week, it's also the Great Manchester Run on the 22nd of May. Just me, Rachel, as it seemed like 2016 has completely flown by.
I know, you're absolutely right, Adam. It has absolutely flown by. And for those of you who aren't aware what Great Manchester Run is, well, it's the largest 10k run in Europe, and it's part of the Weekend Festival of Sport.
The weekend brings in a great deal of tourism to the city and gives all members of the family the opportunity to get involved.
Did you know that a recent survey conducted by Hollywood Bowl found that families spent a mere average of 38 minutes quality time together on a normal weekday? So we visited Manchester Harriers and Athletics Club to get their thoughts on the upcoming run and to talk about running being a brilliant way for families to spend more valuable time together.
The Great Manchester Run, a competition that attracts thousands of athletes to the city every year. The popularity of running in the northwest has grown dramatically since the London 2012 Olympic Games, with clubs in the region being forced to stop taking on new members. Here at Manchester Harriers and Athletics Club, there's a great sense of anticipation for the upcoming run.
Yeah, the Great Manchester Run does some great things for the city. It brings a lot of tourism into the city and attracts a good standard of athletes, and there's the City Games the day before as well, which again attracts a lot of athletes of a very high standard into the city and a lot of spectators coming in to watch it.
But what makes it so special for people like myself and other people within the club is the fact that it's not elitist. You don't have to be a fast runner, you don't have to be Usain Bolt or Paula Radcliffe or somebody like that to get round. You know, you can just be anybody.
It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, our club normally marshals by the start, and it's a great buzz with there, and there's absolutely thousands, waves after waves of people, all having fun, all enjoying themselves. Yeah, I think it's great for Manchester.
Manchester Harriers and Athletics Club is not just any running club, it's a very family-inspired club that offers families the chance to spend valuable time together, something that is increasingly difficult in a world where technology is a child's best friend and work regularly takes over the lives of parents.
Yeah, I think it can be quite hard for people to fit in family time, especially around job commitments and stuff, so this does give like an outlet for like just spend some time together and just have some fun as well.
You get out together as a family, it doesn't matter what ability you are, so mother, father, son, daughters, they get together, all have fun, learn together, meet people and get fit.
I mean, historically running clubs were mainly male populated and usually from about 14, 15 years and above. Over the last 20 years we've seen a real upsurgence in families coming along. We tried to structure our sessions so that families can train together. So there's lots of different groups, little ones, big ones, beginners, you know, general running clubs. So yes, we have. And over the last 12 months we've had funding, so we've really pushed the recreational side to get adults in.
I think it is a good way of spending quality time together, and it gets you fit as well and provides a good role model really for your children to be active and get out and about.
And there's a lot of teenagers now, sort of 19, 20, 21 in the club, that I've seen come since they were 7. And it's lovely to see them still involved. Even if they're not competing competitively, they might be coaching or officiating or just doing it to keep fit. So yeah, it's lovely to see them come through. They feel like they're my own children.
Yeah, amazing stuff there. Never mind being a TV presenter, Rachel. Fancy yourself as a runner now after seeing that?
Oh, I don't know about that, Adam.
Yeah, me too. I think I prefer keeping my feet firmly on the sofa for now.
Well, a large number of people who take part in the Great Manchester Run do so in a bid to raise money for a charity of their choice. However, some people choose different methods of fundraising for charity, and one of those is Salford College student Leah Dean.
Yeah, Leah has a rather remarkable story that all started last year when she raised over £3,000, wow, for Cancer Research UK after shaving her head, and she is with us in the studio now to talk about her story and her upcoming fundraising events. First of all, welcome, Leah, and I've just got to ask, what on earth made you shave your hair to raise money for charity? Why that? Why something so drastic?
Well, you know, we all found out as a school that one of my English teachers had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and that's when the thought initially started to fundraise in her honour. And initially we was just going to do the Race for Life event, and we did that. We raised a few £100 in a day, and that's when I got the buzz for it. So I was thinking about the head shave, you know, and I was on Facebook that night and I seen a video of a 12-year-old girl doing it, and it was just too much of a coincidence, so I just put it out there and off went from there, to be honest. So the media backed it, and the total just raised and raised and raised each day.
Yeah, because you've had a lot of media speculation, haven't you?
Yeah.
Were you ever expecting to get £3,000?
No, definitely not. I just put it on Facebook. Actually, my initial target was £150, so you know, smashed that by 20.
That, yeah.
You went away with £3,000 of all. I think we've got actually some footage of you having your hair shaved off now. How do people donate, by the way?
They just donated on my Just Giving page.
Just Giving, yeah.
And some people donated in cash, which was then just sent to the charity.
Here it is now, going. You've had the ponytail gone.
How long was your hair?
It was like down to my waist.
And it had been that for a long time of your life? Yeah. So you've never had it that short before?
I did it cut a little bit short, but not much shorter, no.
Were you nervous doing this though in front of a massive crowd of people?
Oh yeah, because everyone's like watching. There's 200 people watching, so.
And where was this taking place?
It's at St Boniface's Social Club. It was a local too.
You look fantastic, by the way. I like that. So you know you've shaved your hair now. You've raised £3,000, but you want more, don't you? You want to do more, and you're raising money now for your grandfather. Yeah. What can you tell us about your next adventure?
Well, I've decided I'm going to cycle from Cadbury World in Barnville, near Birmingham, to Salford, which works at just under 100 miles. And we're doing that on the 3rd of July this year. It marks a full year since a head shave. It was the 3rd of July last year we did the head shave. And yeah, we're doing it for the same charity, Cancer Research UK. And you know what I've just said, I'm doing it, so if anybody else wants to join in, however they want to join in, they're more than welcome to. So yeah, I'm hoping to raise another £1,000 for Cancer Research UK.
Brilliant. And why Birmingham? Why have you chosen to start from there?
Well, I was talking to a few of my friends, and we were trying to decide where. It was on Google Maps, and we were trying to decide like 100 miles between location A and location B, and we were just putting random locations in, and was just like, this last one we did was like Barnville in Birmingham, and we did it, and it worked out like 99.7 miles, and that's like the closest we was ever going to get. And the story fitted with my granddad and so on, with his favourite chocolate being Barnville, and we just sort of put it out there. And already we've raised about £500.
Wow.
So it's still a few months away, so hopefully we can raise a lot more.
And how do you prepare your body to go through that kind of physical challenge?
Eat right, exercise. So at the minute I'm working out 5 times a week. So I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, a break Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, break Sunday. Eat 3 meals a day, make sure I'm eating the right food, so I cut back on sugar, fat, salt. You know, my motto I'm going by in terms of eating is I eat like breakfast like a king, I have dinner like a prince, and I have tea like a pauper. So that seems to work.
And are you still at college?
Yeah, still.
So how are you finding the time to balance that?
Well, I'm just getting up earlier and I'm working out in the morning. So I'm at the minute I'm waking up about 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym, and then from the gym I'm going to college. And it's good because it's getting me up in the morning, and then I'm more prepared for the day. I look at my peers in college and I'm more up and active than what they are. So I feel better for it as well in myself.
You must always do us though all a favour when you go on this cycle ride. Afterwards, you've done that 100 miles, probably burnt what 1 million calories while you do it. please treat yourself at least to one chocolate bar. Just one.
I might buy some whilst I'm there and then eat it when I get back.
You need to. I think you deserve a treat after that. We had a few as well tweets, haven't we, in this morning, Leah? Rachel even. Leah's over there. I want to talk about.
Yeah, well, we've had a few people getting in touch, being inspired by you, Leah, about raising money for charity. Danny from Stockport says that he's going to be taking part in the Great Manchester Run this year and will be raising money for the British Heart Foundation. So best of luck to Danny.
Yeah, and I've also had Laura tweet us in from Liverpool, who's also been raising funds recently for her local charity Kind by holding a mass cake sale at her daughter's primary school. How I remember those cake sales, Rachel. Can you remember doing them?
Yeah, I still do them.
I had one of those, Leah, before in school.
I think we still have them now
you
in
still
college.
Have them now.
Yeah.
It's 17 years old. So that's what I like to see. Best of luck, Leah, with everything you're doing. You really are an inspiration. So thank you very much for joining us in the studio today. And I hope as well that the weather holds up for you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Now, I actually had a few people getting in touch regarding their fundraising plans. Myself, and my mum, we're also going to have a cake sale outside of our house to raise money for that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I know it's not quite cycling, but it's good enough.
So Leah has her plans sorted for summer, but do you? Summer is a time where many people agonise over the rising cost of a holiday abroad. But what have we told you? There's no need to leave the region to search for the much needed getaway.
Yeah, that's right. There are plenty of places ideal for a short break, whether it's just a romantic trip or a family holiday. And throughout the series, our very own adventurer Cameron Murray will be uncovering the places in the region that you'd be silly to miss.
And this week, he's taking a trip to the beautiful Lake District. But where exactly?
This week I've come to Windermere in the Lake District, which is home to the biggest lake in the UK. Now I'm going to spend the day here exploring and see what this beautiful gem of the Northwest has to offer.
Windermere is a small town based in the south of Cumbria, offering plenty to see and do for a weekend away which all the family can enjoy. Whether you're a walker, a sailor, or none of the above, don't put yourself down, neither am I. It's no surprise as to why in 2015 over 16 million tourists visited the lakeside town for a break. The streets are littered with quirky antique shops and boutiques that make shopping a lot more personal than going to your local high street. They even boast about serving world famous ice cream. Now if that's not an excuse to visit, I don't know what is. The lake itself and its surrounding area have enough activities going on to keep the whole family entertained for hours. From ferry trips to Ambleside and Coniston, or if you're channeling your inner Bear Grylls, you can hire your own boat for up to an hour and explore the islands of Windermere yourselves. Even the little things are enjoyable. Feeding the ducks, going for a romantic stroll along the jetties, buying a fishing net and rooting through the lake. I hope you do better than me though. I had nothing to take home for tea that night. It's clear to see that Windermere have spent a lot of time and money on making this northwest destination a place for tourists to flock to, and it's quite unique in the fact that the traditional aspects of the town haven't been damaged as a result. Add to that, everyone has a smile on their face. No, really. They actually do.
As you can see, I've had a fun-filled day out in Windermere today, and I hope I've shown you viewers at home what a brilliant place this is to visit, whether you're a couple or a family. Now, it's time for my day to come to an end, and this brilliant captain has offered me a ride back to Manchester, so I'm about to get on the... Oh no, I'll see you next week. Wait!
Oh, how lovely. Do you know what, Rach? After seeing that, I've forgotten how beautiful the Lake District is. I think I'm going to book myself a short break after the show this morning.
Yeah, I know, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Stunning.
And if you agree with us, well, don't forget that we want to hear from you at home. Each week, we'll be giving you a chance to pick where Cameron should visit next. So let us know your votes by dropping us a tweet or leaving a comment on our Facebook page.
But who says that you have to go big on a holiday though? There are so many cheap and even free things that you can do with your family across the Northwest this summer. And right now, we're joined by our very own travel expert, Neil Robinson, who is here to share his inside knowledge regarding ways to have an enjoyable summer in the region at a low cost. Good morning to you, Neil. Now, when I think of tourism in this country, I think like a lot of people, I always think about expensive places, Blackpool Tower, Thorpe Park, Alton Towers, but it doesn't have to be like that, does it?
It doesn't, and you've mentioned a number of the key corporate providers, but in the Northwest, for example, you know, we've got an array of very cheap, affordable attractions. So, for example, Manchester University has a wonderful exhibition on at the moment, and that's part of the museum they have there. That's free. If you go to the Maritime Museum in Liverpool, they've got the Titanic and Lusitania exhibition on. That's also free, and next door's the Tate Gallery. So that's very accessible. And also in terms of the more traditional historic components, you've got Chester, which is free to access, and you can walk the city walls. And like Cameron was saying, he's been to the Lake District, which is an area of outstanding natural beauty.
Yeah, and all of these are accessible like by a train, aren't they?
Very accessible, and if you can use public transport, even better. Protects the environment, and there's no hassle parking your car.
Yeah.
You know, it's great as well having a day trip, but I think part of the experience about going on holiday is also staying over too. And there's been a rise, I've noticed, in like budget places to stay, one of them being Airbnb. And what would you say to people, Neil, who are quite concerned about booking through these?
Yeah, I think you need to be careful. I would always say to anyone, firstly, if the deal appears very, very good, you know, be somewhat sceptical of it. If the organisation, if it's a hospitality enterprise and they have a physical entity, give them a call, just make sure they exist. And also, if you're using things like PayPal or if you're using your credit card, it's a lot safer, because if the organisation is fraudulent, you can at least get in contact with a third party and they'll take it up on your behalf.
We've had a tweet from Jodie in Bolton. She says, I like the idea of staying local and going on holiday in the northwest, but some of the hotel prices are expensive as travelling abroad. So obviously we've mentioned Airbnb there, but what other options are there?
There are a rich array of options. I would always say use social platform. I know the likes of Twitter are actually going into hospitality provision as well of recent weeks, so that's quite good. But yeah, book well in advance. You know, you're going to have to pay a high premium, but you're guaranteed. Alternatively, if you're not too bothered about where you could actually stay on the night, leave it as long as possible and just book on the day.
And then, where's your favourite place to go, Neil?
That's a good question. I'd probably have to say somewhere like Buxton. I was in Buxton not so long ago with the family. It's very flat, very accessible, and there's the Devonshire Dome, which is very historic, and you can visit that. You can have spa treatment, and you can also have a look around the inside of the building, which is very beautiful and historic.
Well, we thank you for stopping by, Neil, and I'm sure you'll be back soon with some more expert advice.
Yeah, now I've actually had a few suggestions on where Cameron should visit next week, and quite a few people are calling for Chester. Now, apparently, in 2013, a USA Today poll found Chester to be the 5th most romantic destination to visit in Europe, according to the Americans, ahead, believe it or not, of both Venice and Paris. Now, that is surprising, Rach.
Yeah, ahead of Paris and Venice it is, yeah. I actually went to Chester a couple of weeks ago, and it was very pretty, very beautiful.
And I've actually been to both Venice and Paris, but it was with the parents, so I haven't really managed to experience the romantic side of it just yet. And with that, we are sadly nearly at the end of the show, but we always save the best until last.
Yes, we've spoken a lot about where you could potentially go on holiday, but how about we make it just that little bit easier for you with this week's competition? Jake Hirst has all the details.
Sun's out, the days are getting longer. That means only one thing: summer is here! So why not start planning that summer getaway? If you're feeling short on cash, then don't worry, because we are here to help.
This week we're offering you the chance to win this 3-bedroom holiday home situated in the northwest. The property boasts an open plan living area, modern kitchen and an ensuite master bedroom. There's even a patio area equipped with a stainless steel barbecue and a hot tub. Not to mention, you'll be a few miles from the sunny coastal resort of Blackpool, which attracts millions of visitors each year with a 7-mile-long coastline and traditional seaside experience. Whether it's a romantic walk on the beach or a family outing, there's no shortage of entertainment. If the kids get bored of the beach, then there's a whole host of amusements along the promenade. We'll be giving you £500 to spend however you like.
So what are you waiting for? Like me, you could have your trunks on and you could be soaking up the glorious sunshine. Now, while you see the details of the competition, I'm going to take a dip.
To be in with a chance of winning, text HOLIDAY to 82579. Text costs £1.20 plus one standard network rate message. Or call 0161 365 899. Calls cost £1.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to EDGE269, PO Box 5525, Salford, M50 2HE. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close midnight, Thursday the 12th of May. Good luck.
Do you know what? Only our Jake could turn up on telly in pink shorts, couldn't he? Good luck to everybody, and may the lucky winner feel kind enough, please, come on, please invite me and Rach over for a dip in the jacuzzi. We're always up for that, aren't we?
Yes, please, we are. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. But don't fret, because we'll be back very soon with even more content. On next week's episode, we're going to be introducing a new weekly feature, visiting chefs in the Northwest. And here's a sneak peek.
Hello, I'm Sue. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a tasty, nutritious coconut curry fit for the whole family. If, like me, you're looking to eat cleaner for the summer, then don't eat the takeaway menu, as this simple dish is healthier and as quick to make.
We look forward to seeing more of Sue next week. Now, the moment everyone has been waiting for, where's Cameron's Northwest Adventures going to take him next week? But I can reveal that Chester has held the strongest amidst competition from both Blackpool and Formby.
So, if it really is as romantic as that USA Today poll suggests, then maybe Cameron might finally find true love.
Who knows? And finally, a big thank you to all of today's guests. Be sure to tune in the same time next week for more of what makes the Northwest the best. Goodbye.
Bye.